here we are in year 2, episode 9 of the Simple Success Podcast. And
this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective.
Coaching happiness. Coaching happiness. I see. I'm talking to a true real estate tycoon. Nice try. Keep talking. When you change you change everything. I take it this is the second of the college classes? Well, you could look at it that way. And so we must study closely this Fear of Poverty 102. Yes, this thing we all have that, well, most of us don't ever realize is there until it's way too late. Yes, for some people, but not for us. Why is it a problem? Because our thinking is everything. Remember the James Allen, yeah, I know, as a man thinketh. It's how you end up being. And if you're thinking about poverty, write to this email address. Seriously. Okay, Fears of Poverty. It's kind of like that financial stress story I told you a while back about the guy who tried to get out of debt by thinking about getting out of debt. What's so bad about that? I think we've established that educational attainment is not such a bad thing. He was thinking about, I don't know, financial success? What? You want me to wait for it? Sort of. Debt. He was thinking about debt. He was thinking about the people in poverty. So? Remember that other bit about attracting what you think about? Yes, and your point is? Again, he was thinking about debt. Oh, so he was attracting more of it. Ah, radiant is the sun, as the warmth of your words envelops me. Even your activity levels titillate. I don't remember that play. Well, that's because it's not Shakespeare. It's me. I just made it up. And your point, again? Is that if I can just make it up by thinking in the right way, then anyone else can do it too. And we will. Yes, you will. Oh, remind me later to talk more about those words. Chatterbox. But anyway, you're right. But anyway, so why is this important? And why patience? Which first? Huh? You asked 2 questions. Oh, right. So why is this so important? I'll be patient later. Right, patient later. That's good. It's so important because it can directly impact your investing choices. Anything else? Yeah, other life choices, like where you live or how you live. Help me follow this. Am I talking to a 4-year-old? Not even. You just invented me about 4 months ago. Right. Well, then I'll simplify this since I'm having parenting stress anyway. Which you should be doing. True that, DT. You want out? Out? Of debt, dude. Yes, of course, dude. Then here's what you do. Bleeding. Think only about things as you want them to be. You mean, Jeff, visualize success? I mean exactly that, my friend. I am painting a picture of your success, of the life you want to live. No, of the one I want out of. Unless you'd rather do multi-level analyses or something, like most people do. And like I've done, but am learning not to do. Oh, right. Let me snap out of that mode. Yes, please. Get with it, as you sometimes say. Snapped. You were painting a picture of success, in which there is no fear of poverty or influence of poverty. Correct. And this picture? Yes. Over what time span are we looking? Didn't I recently say something about 4 months? Oh, yeah, you're so right. And we're going to go with that. With what? That it took your whole life, which, of course, will not be the case with
break number 1.
Hello, everyone. This is John with the Simple Success Podcast, financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Because we know you want to show us some serious love in return for the tremendous benefits you get from us. Please head over to the support link in our written show notes. That's the words on your podcast player. There, you can choose from a $9.99 per month doing level of support, a $4.99 knowing level, or a basic intro level of just 99 cents per month. Great place to start. Whichever you choose, thank you so much for helping us do this for you. And to leave us a voice message, which just might see the light of day in a future podcast, go to those same written show notes. You'll go to a site where you can leave a video, audio, or text-only message, depending on how you feel at the moment. You can also send us an audio file attached to an email if you use just more than your phone for stuff. I won't repeat those links because weird. And anyway, show notes. It's all in there, and it's all easy. So, before that little interlude, we talked about thinking into what you want and not thinking about what you don't want. Right, which means you have to focus. Indeed. Can we explore this a bit more? Oh, maybe you can. It's not my place. I hear what you did there, DT. It is your place.
That is what this whole thing is about.
Excuse me? This whole thing is about you can. Next, you'll be saying that a desire for riches is bad. Right. And what specific examples of that are there? Well, we could just wrap up my whole life. Would you like that in a zip file? Humorous, but you don't get off that easy. This is the part where you give examples, specific examples, which is why I asked for them. Methinks thy sin's not accidental, but a trade. If you want to take things measure for measure, you mean? No need, DD. This is real life, not a centuries-old play. Although the point is a timeless one. However deep that is, we must not think our listeners' time is timeless, like some relatively well-known podcast hosts seem to think. Even if they're all households in poverty? Yes, DT, even then. Right. Examples? Okay, here's one where I use a little Photoshop knowledge. How so? I wanted to feel good about having the money I needed and had earned by being patient with home ownership for 16 years. That was many levels of stress that I didn't need until I figured out how to look at it. So I took a screenshot of my bank balance. Yeah. And invoking a sort of spirit level, I guess, I imagined a much bigger number. I'm leaning forward now in case you can't see me. Then I looked at that picture every day for a year. That's patience. Yeah, and that's just one example. Where the fear left immediately? Oh, no, that's the patience part. Is there a great connection I can make between other things we've talked about? There is. By Napoleon Hill? Nope, this is by a guy even older named Wallace Wattles. Napoleon Hill probably read his stuff. Never heard of him. Oh, sure you have. You know The Science of Getting Rich? Oh, yeah, that was an episode in early 2021. Yep, specifically in Chapter 9. Isn't that a second story? Right, and I sure don't want to be a second story man. But the idea is important. More than that, it's fundamental to everything we're talking about. It's the core of poverty. Okay, on to that then.
But first, break number 2.
We know a lot about you already because we know ourselves. For example, we know that you know how to listen to our podcast. We also know that you probably know how to subscribe. So as soon as you're done with that, tell us your story. We have ways you can contact us. It involves a special link where you can leave us a message. We may have an email address for you as well in the future, and we'll let you know if that happens. The reason for subscribing? I thought you'd never ask. When you subscribe, you automatically download all future episodes of that podcast. It just happens in your player without you having to go search again. How cool is that? This means better rankings for the podcast, more attention from advertisers, and more money. And this means more and better stuff for you. So your motivation is simple and easy. Subscribe today, whatever app and from whatever place you like. And don't just try to subscribe. There is no try. There is only do. We're changing the way we look at things, and remember, that's good. Eso es bueno, Sybil. Also remember, this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Coaching happiness. Our call to action is right in the show notes. Find it, and you win too. Okay, dude. Now that break number 2 is behind us, it's crunch time. How does this tie in? Well, as you already know, it's a lot easier this way. What's easier? Which way? 2 questions again. You've got to break that habit. Okay, I will. And in turn, you have to answer at least one of them. That's fair. Investing is easier, a lot easier, when you don't fear the occasional bad choice, mistaking as most of us do a bad choice for poverty. And as Wallace Wattles says in The Science of Getting Rich, to get rich, you need only to use your willpower upon yourself. Yeah, and if you want to become rich, you must not make a study of poverty. And the next thing, person, guy. And of course, in Chapter 12 of Think and Grow Rich, where Napoleon Hill talks about the subconscious mind, he says, thoughts of fear and poverty and all negative thoughts serve as stimuli to your subconscious mind and give it more desirable food upon which it may feed. English. Okay, how about you just spend hours with Google Translate? Warning, you're pushing me here. If you think negative thoughts, your subconscious mind will accept them, thinking that they must be your desired reality. Then your subconscious mind, works overtime to make them come true. Them being your thoughts. Woof. And as you already know, even those air quotes little things we run through our heads and our casual conversations will end up dominating our behavior if we indulge regularly. That is poor mental health. Poor health in general. I'm sure a few examples will be easy. Oh, sure. Here's one. We can't all be rich. We can't? My point exactly, DT. We can. And we have to get fears of failing out of our lives. And this infects our investing? Did you say infects or affects? I said infects, but I meant affects. Let me ask again. And this affects our investing? It does. If we get it out of our heads, anything like it always or I always, for one example, then we can automatically be calmer. The steps for this truly deserve unlimited print. Because we're not acting like some bad thing just has to happen. Hey, and that's just one example. There are dozens more we can point to. Except we won't. Why not? Because instead we visualize success. Yeah, okay. And we combine that with practice and repetition, of course. So, with practice and repetition, you'll be the next mega billionaire. You'll what? You'll get good.
Gracias por escuchar.
A la prochaine. Are you still here? Cool. This podcast and our other podcast are productions of Little Red Hen Industries. The supporting cast who helps me bake the bread includes
Techno King John C. Brandy, Fact Checker Abraham Lincoln, French Consultant Virginia Mitchell, Media Expert Favor Bossy E.K., Psychologist Sigmund Freud, Rabbit Hole Advisor Dr. Marg Parrott, Sound Designer Goodly Amo Marconi, Spanish Consultant Cameron J.K. Brandy, Videographer Alfred Hitchcock, Audio Props Les Paul, Inspiration Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale.
We also have a website, and you can subscribe to both podcasts. You can even send us a video, audio, or text message. But, of course, you'll have to head to the show notes, either on your phone or on the web, to actually get links and stuff. I mean, I could read the URLs where you can subscribe, support, or leave one of those video or audio messages, but you really don't want me to do that. And those explicit and clickable links are in the show notes.
Finally, you can find us on Podmatch, where we consider guests as well as consider guesting on other people's pods.
And really finally, the music for our pods comes from Cute by Ben Sound, and from Piano Background by Nick Simon Adams, both on freesound.org.
Paul.